we're inside, and I'm looking at with how much I'm chopping. When I go to start this thing, if something I chopped needs to be there for some fuck knows reason, for like some safety thing or some bullshit, I'm not gonna know what it is. I don't know who's touched this car before, but what is that? That's all tucked up. That can all go to ECU and weld it in. Batteries in there, brackets on, and that thing is solid and not going anywhere. Oh, righty. Welcome back to another bloody AU episode. So, in the last one, if you saw or not, you may not have, but you should, because well, the last two, I've been stripping, wire tucking, and clearly bloody painting. Because this bay is all painted white, nice and shiny, no holes, no wires, nice and tucked. So all pretty. So first off, I'm probably just gonna, sorry, I'm very tired, I've been working all day. First off, I'm gonna put everything back together. Bloody, probably fenders, front bar, put the whole suspension back in, bloody brake booster, run the bloody cables again, put the steering column back in, just put everything other than the engine back in. So I'm missing a go ahead, do all that, no point of showing you because it's all pretty bloody straightforward and quick. Engine's not going in for a little bit because I need to do some stuff to it, want to buy some stuff, want to do cam, valve springs, bullshit, AC, delete bracket. It's just all going to be easier when it's not in the car. So that's going to wait for a little bit, but we still got a shit ton to do before that anyway. Plus I want to clean it up. But so I'm going to put this all back on. After that, we are going to get into this mess. Yes, we're going to start figuring out these wires, deleting some of these wires, soldering all the bloody dash wires properly, because none of the dash wires, ECU wires, when I wired it in, none of it's soldered. It's all just twisted and bloody taped, because if you didn't see, tendon half, and I did it all one-handed, so I just kind of got it working and tested. Works. So now I can actually wire that, solder that, everything. Quick intermission. So we got the booster on. That's about it so far. I gave it a quick clean. But this intermission is literally about that. So everything I'm putting on, giving a quick clean, or stuff like this that I just feel kind of, well, if I feel fucked to, give it a quick spray with either black or really whatever. But basically just, yeah, just giving things a clean just to make it look better. Because like, now that the booster's cleaned up, it looks nice and pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna go through, keep going and doing what I'm doing, putting things in, giving things a paint and making it look better. Right, we've got headlights and stuff, everything that needs to go back in is in, push through, like wood latch and stuff. It's basically the extent of what you're gonna say. And an engine. Yeah, other than that, there's nothing really in this bay anymore, which is quite nice. I'm not going to put the fenders or bar on yet, because I still need to figure out fuse box wiring and everything. So now we got to get to this bullshit. So I'm going to figure out what I'm doing, and then we shall touch base, because yeah, fuck. Alright, so we're inside, and I'm looking at all of this shit. I don't like wiring, so this is gonna be fun. I don't really know. So, as I've mentioned, all of this, well, this is my ECU plug to the haltech. So all these wires, and you go back in here, and you trace them all back in here, all the way back to here. and I need to solder all them because they're not soldered. Also, the igniter, that's some dodgy level spec shit. So I'm ordering a plug for that so I can wire that in properly. So that's not gonna be dodgy. Other than that, I've got to solder them. I also got to solder like this stuff. This is meant to be over there. That's for my powertune dash, which will also lead to this stuff. So there's more powertune dash over here, which is that big plug there, if you can see it. All of this is like, I think this, maybe not this. I don't know what that is. But somewhere over here, one of these is also like dash wiring. So this one here, one of these. So the wires that I need will be going, I don't know what that's, fuck it. Anyway, the wires that I need will be going to this, or yeah, to that, for the I/O expander box. Sorry, I'm having fucking brain farts. And the ones that I need will be wired into that, soldered into that, sorry, and then chopped out of the harness of all the other ones I don't need. So, for example, this is probably where I'm going to start. This plug here, this is part of AC. I'm going to be tracing it all the way through the harness, cutting all the tape, and deleting all the wires I don't need. So basically, all in here is getting deleted. This, this box, don't actually know what it is. I want to say it's control the gearbox, but I don't know. I probably don't think so. And this blue box, I don't know. So hopefully in my tracing wires adventure and cutting everything out, I figure it out. So well, I'm gonna start tracing wires. Tracing, I don't really know the word. I think tracing. And deleting and soldering, and I'll just touch base every once in a while, because yeah, this is going to be a nightmare, because again, I hate wiring. I like building engines. Hello, we're back. So we've just made, you know, more of a mess. So I'm just I'm literally tracing wires through this into ECU, deleting from ECU that I don't need, and back to wherever. This thing, yes, I discovered this is the resistance control module. So from my understanding, I'm going to keep tracing wires just to fully make sure, but I'm pretty sure from looking it up and just Google scanning this, this should just be to like control airbags and safety features. So this, don't need it. But yeah, we've just got wires on wires on wires. This is a good one. We're getting somewhere. That's all gone. This is not all gone, but it's thinned out. This is getting better. This all just needs to be deleted. That's all like for the radio. That all needs to get figured out where the fuck that goes. And like, this is for the clock. It goes like some crazy shit for the clock, but we're making some type of progress. But like, with how much I'm chopping, when I go to start this thing, if something I chopped needs to be there for some fuck knows reason, for like some safety thing or some bullshit, I'm not gonna know what it is. Let's keep chopping. I don't know who's touched this car before, but what is that? That was all just like jumped together like 27 times, and I already chopped out more. If I counted my ECU right, this should be the data bloody output link, which is for like your Odo and shit, because that's coming off my dash wires. I don't know what's happening, but we're definitely making good progress now. That's a lot of wire. Still a lot of wire. This is what we're looking at. Not the dog, not the gorgeous J Bear. But all the wire. All of this harness is undecided, probably keeping most of it, I think. All of this needs to go once I fully trace it. This is like the rest of the airbag stuff. Someone may watch this and they may go, you fucked up, don't cut that out, but I cut it out. most of it so far. But that's like the airbag stuff and some stuff in the dash. This one, and then we got this big one here, which is all the radio, which is apparently all of this. I don't really know, but I think that's all from the radio, which doesn't make sense, because when we look at this here, we have like however many wires there, and then here we have like quadruple that. Yeah, didn't really think of that, but anyway, yeah, that all really has to go to that. So all of that I got to trace through, delete it. This stuff is some dash stuff. No, that's like the clock and airbag stuff. That's all going. But all in all, I'm gonna climb out of this fucking car for the first time in a long time. Compared to how we started, we're getting there. I still haven't soldered anything or done anything. We've just been on the deleting, but we're getting there. It's looking much better. Right, so that is, I believe, pretty much everything that I don't need. There's probably still more, but look, I honestly don't really feel fucked. So, that's all from ECU. We got this blue box. Someone please tell me what that is, because it seems like a BCM, but I didn't think these had BCM, so don't know. And fuse box. So, everything's a lot cleaner. And we'll go through, tape all this up, make it pretty, and then figure out where I can tuck it. That can get deleted. Figure out where I can tuck it, out of the way, up there, behind the dash, nice and clean. But now, I gotta go through and solder. So I gotta clean up all that. That's all my ECU stuff. Like I was saying, gotta solder it all together, clean it. I gotta solder, where is it? This back on, this is my alternator fail. That needs to go to an ignition wire. I gotta solder, oh, bye dog. I gotta solder all the powertune stuff back up. And yeah, lots of soldering. Because all the dash plugs are gone. So this is just all the wires that I need for the dash that go to the powertune. And then all this. So I'm gonna get to soldering and cleaning up. Fun times. Fun times. Alright, so powertune IO box plug all soldered up. This is extra to light switch, all the dash wires that I need, chopped out all the dash plug and the wires I don't need, soldered, heat shrinked, all pretty. Now I can tape that up, make that its own kind of harness thing. But that one's done. My soldering iron, the Zito, it's shit. I can't solder properly with it, so I need to get a new solder tomorrow. So that's all I can do right now. But then tomorrow, I can tackle all of this mess. Okay, so now we're done driver's side, and we got passenger side. So once again, bloody might gotta cut out all the tape, figure out where all my wires went back down to here and here, which is all soldered, not soldered, all bullshit and disgusting and not eats and not good. And basically just fucking solder everything. So I go solder and cut out and clean up and do all that good shit. Not good shit, but we know what I mean. And then we clean this all up and make this look pretty. Alright, we made a quick budding strip. We got a bigger 80 watt doggy, because this tiny little 25 watt is apparently not doing shit. I tried cleaning it, redoing it, whatever you call it, tinning it, tried doing whatever I got told. I think it's too far gone. I don't really know. It's just not powerful enough. So hopefully this big dog is better shoulder and a shit ton more heat shrink. So now we got to keep it temperature. This is a game changer. Now I can actually solder apparently. So, sorry, one second. Now the igniter wires, what the fuck? The igniter wires all soldered, heat shrink, doing good. I don't know if you can fully tell on camera. Plug, like I mentioned before, I gotta buy one. When I bought this, I didn't realise it wasn't gonna come with a plug. So I kind of dodgily made my own plug for the time being. But that is going to be changed very soon to an actual plug. Again, this was all just for testing because I was one-handed. Also, don't accidentally touch yourself for like half quarter of a second of soldering iron that actually solders, because it hurts. So I gotta keep going with this shit now. But I was wanted to fucking tell you, good soldering iron, or better soldering iron, definitely solders and heat shrinks. Well, now I've heat shrinked. I feel a lot better about my wiring now. This is going good. Alright, so the CAN cable from the ECU is going to my little dash harness thingo that I've made. That one goes to the powertune, that one goes to the I/O box. But I thought about it. Once I did it, I was like, oh yeah, we've done it well. We've done a ground, we've done the ignition, the big red and green wire. We're good. But when I put the dash in, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like get this to the fucking the box and stuff with this running and this running. Which, if that's the case, I'm going to be a bit upset, because then I got to chop and resolder. But I made a little dash harness, so that one's good. God, random bloody update. We got my fans wired in all properly. Well, that's tranny cooler. Where are we? Igniter we've seen somewhere. I got my wideband wired in nicer. That's all the same length wires now instead of what I had before. Now, for the main wires, as you can see, none of these are done yet, but I've just been sussing and having a look. So all of these are the intercept ones, which they all run up and go into the main harness. Then all the tapped ones I tapped it down here, which has made this whole weird harness have a weird split and go different directions. It's really pissed me off. So I'm gonna now tap into all the wires up here where it intercepts, so my whole harness just does one run, and then it's gonna look neat. Well, that was a bit of a bloody quest, but we've done it. So every ECU wire has been soldered, heat shrinked. They all run to basically the same spot, so I can now wrap this and basically make a harness. Other than one, because this one goes to speed sensor, which goes that way. All these wires have been cleaned up and good now. So now this is also the ECU plugs. A lot more basic now, especially with all the chopped wires that I've done. But now I can go around, tape everything and make it look all pretty. This gonna take some time. I gotta tape it, tuck it, make it look clean, and do some stuff. But all in all, I feel much happier now that everything in this car has been soldered. So, good shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun of prettifying. And then, after I prettify, we're gonna figure out a way to mount a battery behind the seat. Probably gonna use the factory battery box and the factory battery mount and just figure out a way. Sorry. Better. And figure out a way how to mount it behind the seat with the factory battery box and factory battery mount. Yeah, so I'm gonna prettify and then we'll get to that. Look at this dog. What are you doing, J-Bear? What are you doing? I may have got carried away with the tape. So down there, ECU, the plug, which I can't unplug for some reason. All taped up. I've got my kind of custom ECU harness here. The igniter is not fully done because, like I was saying, obviously plug. But all that's wrapped up all the way across. All this down to whatever this is. I'm assuming a BCM, even though I still don't think it has one, but who knows. Across to the fuse box. I may have got, and obviously dash plugs. I may have got carried away with the tape, but you know what? Fuck you. I like it. It makes me happy. Obviously it could be a cunt in the future when I need to add more wires, but I thought about that. This thicker wire right here is an extra ground, which is thicker, spans across the bloody car. If I need ignition, there's one on the fuse box And the red wire there, which is my fan one, is also ignition. All I'll really ever need in this car, yes, I do have my trans fan connected to ignition because it's a burnout car, I'm going to constantly doing burnouts, and fuck it, why not? Also, it's a BTR, which they like to have issues. But, all in all, that's all taped and looking pretty in my eyes. So, now I need to tuck it all and figure it all out, because it's still not clean yet. But, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Alright. That's all tucked up. That can all go to ECU, and that can get bolted back to the metal surface behind the dash. That all gets tucked up along here, runs down to here. All the stuff that I need out here can get bolted to the dash, bolted back to the dash. Now, this is AFR, which goes into a gauge in the, you can't see it, the aircon. My only concern is this one, the CAN wire for the dash. I hope that is going to reach, because that's in a really weird, awkward, just, may need to extend that. I will now, though, be getting the dash back in. I did say I was going to paint the interior again, but I'm going to do it later. It's going to be easy to get the dash in and out now, so I can just take it in, take it out, well, nothing. So I'm going to work on getting the dash back in. I will have to cut out a back of the lot of the dash that I don't need, which I'll show you, but yeah, that's all wired and tucked and all pretty now. Alright, so now we have the dash. Here's the bloody thing. So, when I'm saying things getting deleted, I mean like all this AC stuff, all this metal shit don't need, all this I don't need. So I can roll it over without breaking anything. This can get deleted, pretty simple. Basically everything I don't need, which is mainly just the aircon stuff, that can all go. So I'm gonna delete everything. See, like, I don't want to break this. Already the whole top's broken, like all the mounts here. That side's alright. Oh, that side's not. But I'm gonna get all this shit out that I don't need. I think I deleted everything I can. This, I'm gonna leave, because that's a bit of structural rigidity in there. Since it's all metal and welded to this as well. Hole. Don't mind the cut. I was going to cut it at first, but I ended up just drilling a hole. Now I can just tuck a wire through there for the I/O expander box thingo for the dash. But all in all, it's a lot more emptier. So now all my wires should fit through here and be able to do what I need to do. Alright, dash is in. Everything's plugged in. Fuse box is back in. Blue box is back up there somewhere. Everything is run. All my cables are actually long enough and work flawlessly. So now I can piece together the dash again. I got the AFR cable that goes to the back of gauge to the AFR, which is now going to end up running up through the hole up there where the wires from the other fuse box comes and tuck under the car and go to it. Other than that, I can put everything else back in, because that now works. That's good. Lovely jubbly, as the fucking POM say. Apparently we turned POM for a second. Alright, we are completely back together. And looking good. Also, I got a brand new steering wheel from old mate that, if you saw from my last videos, I got an intake manifold, forward facing one, and he had basically a brand new wheel with a hub that he wanted to swap for my factory one so he can make a street car legal. So now that's looking much better with the digital dash on the wheel. But we're all in, we're all connected, we're looking good. This, don't mind the tape and everything to hold it all together temporarily. I kind of hate it now. Like, I like the concept, I like it, but I hate how dodgy it's gotten. So I think I'm going to try and get my 3D printer up and running again soon, figure out CAD, and make something for this, so that actually looks good, because that's a bit, nah, not a fan. One thing, also, I lost my kick panels, and this, I gotta find them, and I'll eventually figure out what I'm going to do with this wiring harness, that wiring harness, but don't worry about that for now. But one thing I do like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, hello, but under here, hear me, I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can see too well from that video, but under there, there is so much room now. So, once I cage this thing eventually, easy to bar in there, nice. But when I'm like laying under it and looking up, there's so much room that I can actually work with the dash in to add wires, to add stuff. So it's very nice. But that's all good, that's done. So now let's mount a battery behind us. I think I'm gonna do it behind passenger seat. So if I'm driving and there's an emergency or something, I can just like reach back to my battery. But yeah, that job is done. Dash job. And we're back in and looking pretty with the power tune, the AFR built in, the ratchet shifter, don't mind the tape, and the haltech. Nice, nice. So this is the plan for the battery. This is the whole factory mounting shenanigans that normally goes in the engine bay. So it's got, I can figure out, I'll take this out quickly. Am I going the wrong way? I don't know. So yeah, this just unscrews, as it does, fuck it. And that's what I cut out. So this is essentially going to get welded there, and then I'm going to need to figure out kind of a locking system, because that obviously will lock it once it's welded. But for come on, I don't know what's happening, but anyway, that was all fabulous. But anyway, need a locking system for this pin, which will probably be weld something onto this that comes up and that can slip in, that gets cut, and then that will be a remounted battery. So here's kind of the plan. This is just like loosely tacked, but once that's on there like that, hole through it, weld it to the bottom. This side, so you loosen this side, this comes off. Probably just should have taken this all off on camera, I mean off camera, but anyway. Loosen this side, since it's flimsy enough, can kind of just bow out, or if it's a bit more solid, then you can just push it out, pull it out, battery mount. So that's how that's going to work. I'm going to weld this properly, bend this a bit more that way so it's not as like out here, prep it, weld it. So I cleaned up the rust on the bottom of the battery tray and gave it a quick spray with the good old white, just because why not? Also to prevent rust mainly, but white because, you know, interior will be white. But you climb in here, line it up with my couple marks I made, something like so. Oh, not like so. So it sits flush, and this hole, these holes, this hole, that hole, I'm just gonna spot weld it kind of like it sits factory, and then that will be battery mount done. Negative can go through there and do everything it needs, like I was saying, and positive can just wrap that way neatly and done. Get this welded in, and then yeah, battery tray is done. Alright, and just like that, welded in, battery's in there, brackets on, and that thing is solid and not going anywhere. So that's not rear, but behind the seat, the battery, done with stock parts, because you know, budget. So with that, I'm gonna leave this episode here. Next one should be more exciting stuff. Gonna get the motor in here, clean it up, get the paint off this intake manifold so it ain't red. Probably a couple parts are coming, and I'll get this thing closer and closer and closer. I don't know if I'm going to drop the engine in yet. I may, but because I still need AC delete bracket and some other stuff, and I want to build the head with a cam, valve, springs, everything, so that's going to be easy out of the car, but we'll see how it goes. The next episode will be a bit more interesting than just some bloody wiring, but it needs to get done, and I'm, I guess, documenting everything. So yeah, if you enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps me keep doing this stuff, and hopefully we go somewhere and we can keep building stuff, do more skids, build other cars, and just do some fun stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching.